So today what we're going to do is we're going to just talk about the lesson 4 on percentile ranking. Now, just looking at our booklet, what we've done so far, we've done the measures of central tendency. We talked about the mean, median, and mode on that lesson. And in lesson 2, we talked about trimmed mean, where we had to trim the outliers, trim the number that is not a good representation of the whole data. Okay, something that's way off, either too large or too small. So we're gonna evenly trim the highest and lowest. So yesterday we talked about weighted means, so meaning some data or some score has a higher importance than the other. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about percentile ranking, and then that's basically the end of this unit. Okay, so what is percentile ranking? Take a look at that one. So we're going to page 14, percentile ranking. So percentiles are used by statisticians to rank scores in order. So when we look at the word percentile, some people think of a percent, right? The percent. But it's actually what we're trying to do is we are ranking the score as if there's over like 100 in all that, what would be the ranking of that particular score. So a high percentile rank means the score is higher, while a low percentile rank means the score is near the bottom of the group. So if we line them all up, okay, when we line up all of the data, some would fall on the higher, some rank lower. This formula is what we're going to be used for percentile ranking. So if you take a look at this one here, this formula is on the formula sheet on your exam booklet. But if you want, you could write that formula down as well. So what does that say? Percentile rank is equals to B divided by N times 100. So B divided by N times 100. Well, what does the B represent? So B is how many scores are below the given score. Okay, so how many are below the given score? So we're going to look at the specific score, and we're going to count how many are below or lower. And the N is the total number of scores. N is the total number of scores. So there's a special note in here. If a percentile calculation results in decimal, we always round up to the next whole number. Okay, so when it says, so this is a special note, so maybe we can write that down on a formula sheet, right? So write it down on your formula sheet, because when we put something in a ranking, there's no such thing as point something rank, right? So for example, if the number that we got is 68.7, we're just gonna round it off to the 69th percentile. Okay, notice we don't put percent. We don't put 69%. We write down 69th percentile. If it's 15.02, we're always gonna round up, so it's gonna be 16th percentile. We're on page 15 from the same book from yesterday. Yeah.
So you round down for 68.
No, we always round up, right?
Round
So
up,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
So it will be 69.
yeah, yeah. So 69 for this one, and then this one here. Our mind, we're pretty trained to round the number, right? We would think that, oh yeah, it's going to be 15, but in percentile ranking, we always round up to the next number up. Okay, and note, not the unit is percentile. Okay, so percentile, not percent. Okay, because some people put down percent. So let's take a look at this one here. Jen and Bob just wrote the math test.
You just wrote down a percentage.
Oh no, not percent, percentile. Yeah,
Oh,
percentile.
percentile. Oh.
Yeah.
It's similar.
It sounds the same. Sounds pretty much the same.
TIL.
So Jen and Bob just wrote a math test. Jen scored 87th percentile and Bob scored 76th percentile. Who had the better result? So Jen scored 87th percentile. So that means there are more Jen with double N got a better result because she ranked higher than Bob. Okay. So because she's on the 87th percentile, which is a higher ranking, that means she got a better result. Okay. Is that okay? Example 2. Gord and Kim both had blood pressures taken. Gord scored 99th percentile and Kim scored 50th percentile. Who had a better result? Now, this one here, when we look at the word blood pressure, okay. Maybe some of you know about this one here. So, oh, excuse me, sorry. When we talk about blood pressure, which one is better? Higher blood pressure or lower?
Medium.
Or medium? Do you think it's good to have a high blood pressure?
Still dangerous.
It's dangerous, right? Dangerous. So a high blood pressure is not a good result.
99.
So a high blood pressure is not a good result. Okay. So a high blood pressure is not a good result. So if somebody says, my high blood pressure is 99th percentile, that means high. So in this particular case, higher in this context is not necessarily better, right? So in this context, high blood pressure, percentile ranking is not necessarily better. So who had the better result? So Kim's result is better because the result is in the normal normal blood pressure level. Okay. Is that good? So let's compare example 1 and example 2. This one is a math test. So when we, in this context, math test, the higher the better, right? In example number 2, in this context, the blood pressure, the higher the blood pressure, it's not necessarily better. So depending on the context there. Okay. Example 3, let's take a look at example number 3. Julian scored better than 23 of his classmates. So we don't know his score. We don't know his score, right? But we know that in his class, whatever score that Julian got, they were comparing each other, and 23 of his classmates got better. 23 of the students got lower than Julian. If there are 32 people in a class, calculate Julian's percentile rank. Okay, so let's percentile rank. Let's calculate that. What's his rank? Okay. So Julian scored better than 23 of his classmates. So if he scored better, then 23 must be below than what he got. So B is 23 divided by, if there are 32 people in the class, divide by 32, because that's 32 people all in the class, times it by 100. Okay, so what would be the percentile ranking? So let's grab our calculator here for a second. So it's 23 divided by 32, okay, times 100. And then this is where we're going to go 71.875. It's going to be 72. And because it's a percentile, it's a ranking. So we're going to write down 72nd percentile. Okay, so it's like a placement here. So let's visualize this. There are 32 people in the class. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Okay, you don't have to write this down, but I just wanted to show you. There's 32 people in a class, so that's represented by those little lines there.
I'm just looking for, I think it's upstairs, my next one. I'm looking for a booklet on trig.
Oh, okay.
I think it's upstairs. Doesn't look like it's this one.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so just to kind of visualize this, okay? Visualize this. So this little lines there, those are the 32 people in the class. There should be 32 there, right? 32. Now, where is Julian? Where's Julian in all these rank in here? We know 23, Julian scored better than 23 of his classmates. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 22, 23. So this is our below This is Julian's mark. I'll just put J, Julian. And all of these classmates of his got a low mark. All of these got below what Julian got. So what he's really doing is he's comparing himself among everybody in the class. So there's 23 of them below, and this is Julian. So 23 students. So that's that piece. How many are below him or got a lower score than him? Divided by 32, because there's 32 in his class, and then
So
times it by 100.
23 divided by 32, you round down, right?
No, in this case, we always round up. We always round up. So I'll write it down here. I got 71.875, but we always round up to the whole number. Whole number. So write it down.
Oh,
Okay. So we just figured out his percentile rank. So his percentile rank is 72nd percentile ranking. And the next question is this. Is there a way to tell what his actual mark is, what he actually got on in this test? Okay. So in this case, we know his placement is, right, in comparison to everybody, but there is no way, okay, but we don't know his mark. So even though we know his percentile ranking, how he ranks in his class, we still don't know what he got based on this information. Okay? Is that good? So I'll wait and let you finish up. Is that good? We'll move on to the next one. Let's take a look at this one. Now this one actually tells us an information
I have
here.
a question here.
Yeah.
Number two.
Number 2.
Yes,
Okay.
between 99
And 50th.
and 50.
Mm-hmm.
Around for the black person. So I just you divide it 99.
No, that one here, there's no calculation involved. And
It's comparative or?
yeah, just comparing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's like example 1. Example 1 is compared to,
Yeah, example 1 is also comparing. Correct.
which is the better one, I think, is 50%.
Are you talking about example number 2?
Yes.
Yeah, 50th percentile is better. So is that okay?
Yep.
Yeah. Any other questions about that one? Let's take.
No.
No, you're good. Okay.
I have a question here in, let's say, 15.2 become the 16,
Mhm.
and 15 is low number. How to be round up?
This one here. This one.
Yes.
Yeah. In this particular case, yeah, that's why we had to put like a star beside it, or 3 stars, right? It says here we always round up to the next highest whole number, right? So if it's 15.02 it kind of looks like it should be 15, but in this case, we always round up to the next one. Next.
Well, the next one, it should be like a high number, like beside 5, but the 5 is the highest.
Which one are we talking about?
That's what we're talking about.
This one?
Yeah, how
Yeah.
am I gonna go up 1 to 5 is the biggest?
Yeah.
And there is point there.
Yeah, there's a point here, 15.02.
Yeah.
So if this is 15, and then this is 16, 15.02 would be over here, very close to 15, but we round it off to the next one higher.
So that means 16 and 15 together.
No, we just write down 16th. Yeah, right here, 16th percentile.
Okay. Without the 16, then what am I gonna do for 15?
Oh, yeah, nothing. You just write down 16th. Yeah.
Because it's a little bit confusing.
Oh, we'll try that over here. Let's see if we could figure that out here.
Because in an example,
Yeah, we'll do a little bit more
like
example here.
68.7 now it makes sense because 7 is higher.
Yes, yeah. Yeah,
But in 15, I'm not even satisfied
yeah,
how they would move up.
yeah. I think we're used to just rounding, right? The way we round up. If it's 5 and higher, we round up. But this is the only case where we don't. So let's see here. Example 4. Yeah. Let's try an example 4 and we'll figure it out. So it says here, the following data are obtained from an experiment. So we don't even know what this data is, but it's just, that's what they got, right? So find the percentile rank for the score 29. So what we have to do, I'll just put PR, okay? So to kind of save us some time. Percentile ranking is equals to B over N times 100. Okay. So the score that we wanted to compare among the rest is 29. Okay? So the one that we want, the score that we want to compare is 29. So look at the word that 29 is. Okay, 29. How many numbers, you go over here, how many numbers are below 29?
I think 9.
How many numbers are below 29? It means lower than 29. 4?
9.
No, below. So if this is 29, lower than 29. Is this lower than 29? Yeah, 1. Lower than 29? Yeah, below.
4.
Below. So there should be 4, right? 4.
This is that side.
Yeah, so 4 are below. And then the rest here are higher. Divided by N. N. What's the N? How many are there all together? 12. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 times 100. Okay, so let's go ahead and calculate that one. 4 divided by 12 times 100.
Do we have to add the TH and the
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
percent?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or in this case, yeah, because we're doing the cardinal here. This is what I got, right? 33.33333. Okay.
That's what I do.
And then we'd round it up to the next whole number. So that would be 34. Yeah, 34. And then, well, 34, when we put it in order, it would be 34th, right? 34th. So TH, 34th
Oh,
percentile. Right? Yeah, that's okay.
okay. You don't care that the number is lower or it's bigger. You still round up.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
You got it.
That's the important part, you know.
Yeah, that's the important
Because
part
what
of
is
now.
sticking in my mind is you can from 3, 4, you can do nothing.
That's right, yeah, that's
But
right.
now it's changed.
This-
It doesn't matter, you have to.
That's correct, yeah, just for this one,
Oh,
pretty much, rounding off properly, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then there's no decimal, it would be just rounded off to the next whole number.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a tricky one, because we've been trained to round off properly, right? Yeah. Now let's try this one. We're gonna compare 41 among everybody else. Okay, so I'm just gonna go PR, percentile rank, B divided by N times 100. So now this is the number that we're comparing among everybody. So how many, so the question is, how many are below 41? So we're gonna figure out. So how many do you have? How many are below 41? How many of these numbers are below 41? You're counting? Yeah. 10? Yeah. So you look over here and see how you scan. Well, it's actually not too bad here because it's not a lot of numbers, and also they're already put in order. Makes it easy, right? So how many are below 41? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 are below 41. So if this is 41, all of these numbers are below. Below.
Oh.
Low. It means lower. Okay? So PR, percentile rank, we said is 10 divided by N. So how many are all of it? Total number. Still 12 times 100. Okay. Was everybody okay with that one? 10 divided by 100.
What PR mean?
Percentile ranking.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just,
It's the same what we.
yeah, I got lazy.
And make each other. Oh.
I got lazy. Instead of writing percentile ranking, it's just I put PR.
Oh,
That's okay.
that's good to know.
Yeah. Okay, so let's all calculate that one. What's 10 divided by 12? Okay. Now, what do you think? It's going to be 83.33333, and I know in this particular case, we always have to round up to the next whole number. So this is going to be 84th percentile. So in this case, it's 84th percentile. Is that good? Now let's take a look at example 5. It says here, the business school at University of Maine grants every interviews to students who score 90th percentile or better. 90th percentile or better. Joanne gets a score of 93% on her exam. Will she get an interview? Will she get an interview? Okay. Can we got a score, but we don't know how she ranks among everybody else. Okay, so we know Joanne's score on entrance exam, but we don't know her percentile ranking. Okay, therefore we cannot determine if she will get an interview. Okay. So in this case, we know her score. We know her score, but without her comparison among the rest, we don't know if she's gonna be interviewed. Is that okay? So some of these questions are really understanding what percentile ranking is. It's a ranking. How is one thing compares to another as a group? So let's go to example number 6. At a local elementary school, there are 50 students. Okay, 50 students, or quite a bit of them. The height of all students is measured and recorded. Cynthia is one of the students. There are 4 students that are taller than Cynthia and 5 students that are the same height as Cynthia. Calculate the percentile rank of Cynthia's height. Okay. Well, we don't know Cynthia's height. Okay. But this doesn't even tell us what her height is, but we know how she compares to everybody in her class. So let's see here. There are 50 students. Okay, so this is Cynthia's height. Okay. And let's see here. The height of all students is measured and recorded. Cynthia is one of the students. There are 4 students that are taller than Cynthia. So this is Cynthia, and there are 4 students who are taller than Cynthia. Right, so whatever her height is, they're taller, so they're in this category. These are the 4 that are 4 students taller than Cynthia. Okay, what else do we have in here? And there are 5 students that have the same height as Cynthia. Okay, this is Cynthia, and there are other 5 students that are the same height as Cynthia, so I'll just put here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all of these people are same height as Cynthia. Okay, so this is still Cynthia's height. We don't know her height is. We know that 4 people are taller than her, so we're gonna be putting their height over here to the right. And then we have 5 students that are the same height as Cynthia, so we're just gonna put them over here. They're all the same height. So if this is Cynthia's height, how many people are below Cynthia? So over here, below is there a way for us to figure that out? So how many are going to be in this category? How many are below? Is there a way for us to figure that out? I'm going to put here 5 students. Any ideas?
Would it be, Ryan
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, you know that there's 50 altogether, right?
and
So
there's 4 students that are the same height and 4 that are taller, so they're not below.
yeah. So this is 5 here. Take away the 5, and then you take away the 4 that are taller, and we're also gonna take away Cynthia.
Oh,
Cause yeah, so we're gonna take away Cynthia because we want to make sure that we're just counting the people who are below. Yeah, that's a good idea, right? Is everybody okay with that one? So to figure out how many people are below, we know that there's 50 in all in all. So if you take away the 5 people that are the same height as Cynthia, and if we take away the 4 people that are taller than Cynthia, and we're gonna take another 1 person because that's Cynthia. So how many is that? That's 10, right? So taking away 10 from 50, we're now down to 40. So 40 students are below her height. Now we can calculate it. So percentile rank, I'll just go like this so I don't confuse. Percentile rank, how many are below Cynthia's height? How many are there altogether? That's the n times 100. So how many are below is 40 divided by n. How many are there together? So that's 50 times 100.
B and is common, right?
B means below. Yeah.
What about N?
N means everybody.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It's a number.
Yeah, the
Oh.
number. Yeah. N would be the 50.
Oh,
So 40 divided by 50
oh. Okay.
times
And mean
100
average.
would be 80. Okay, so 80. 80th percentile. Let's see. That's the 80th percentile. That's pretty good. Okay. Good job, Abby. Is that okay? So in this particular case, it's just basically comparing. So there's some questions in here for you to try. We have a little bit of time left. So I think tomorrow we can continue on. So we just finished talking about percentile ranking, and then tomorrow we'll see what we could do with maybe a review and talk about when our tests will be in this one. That was pretty fast, eh?
So if you wrote it down.